Hi everyone, it's been a while. I hope you're keeping well. I'm doing good. Today I'm going to share two Bible verses with you. Turn with me to Genesis chapter 45, verse reading 4 to 8. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Come close to me." When they had done so, he said, "I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. For 2 years now there has been famine in the land, and for the next 5 years there will be no plowing, reaping, but God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So then, it was not you who sent me here, but God. He made me father to Pharaoh, lord of his entire household and ruler of all Egypt." Let's turn to Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." "You meant it for evil," Joseph said, "but God made it for good." So here we see that the very thing that was used against Joseph resulted in his exaltation. Joseph says to his brothers, "It wasn't you who sent me here, but it was God. So it wasn't you who determined the course of my life, but it was God. You meant to hurt me, you meant to silence me, you meant to destroy me, but God meant to preserve and strengthen me from bitter to better." I want to preach to someone today who's standing between bitter and better. I want you to know that God is in charge of your life. Even in midst of trouble and trial, God is working all things together for you. Even when you can't see his hand in your life, even when you can't feel his touch, even in midst of trouble and trial, God is right there. He's working all things together for your good. I know it's difficult for us to look at tragedy and trial and see good in them. The problem is our vision is so limited. Unlike Joseph, it's difficult for us to see the road from prison to palace. But I need to tell you today, don't. Please don't pass judgment on a thing that God isn't finished with. There's a great and mighty hand at work in your life. No, you can't see it. No, it doesn't make sense. No, it's not easy to explain why things are going the way they are. But if you will keep the faith and if you will keep trusting God, there's a day coming that you can see the mighty hand of God through your troubles and trials. There's a day coming when you will look back on a long journey and say, "God brought me here. God directed my life. God navigated the valley and brought me to the mountain top." Your faith is vulnerable when you're standing between bitter and better, when you can feel the pain and hurt of the bitter things in your life, but you cannot see the better things that is yet to come. I want to tell you, my lovely people, if you are not careful, you will make the mistake of embracing bitterness instead of allowing God to bring about strength and growth in your life. There is more going on in your life than you can see or know. There's a plan and a purpose that is much larger than your limited understanding. God, in His infinite wisdom, working things all together for your good. I know in midst of crisis it's difficult to see the hand of God at work in our lives, but I want to remind you today, even when you can't see it, even when you don't understand it or feel it, God is at work in our lives. Beyond the realm of our immediate understanding, God is working a plan and circumstances that is good for you. He's preparing a blessing for you. What we see is far less than what God sees. Today, some of us are positioned between bitterness and betterness. If we are not careful, we will let the bitterness of the world to overwhelm our lives. But I have a good news for you, my lovely people. God has the incredible ability to change bitter into better. If you will run the race with patience, enduring until the end, somewhere along the way, God will change your sorrow into rejoicing, your mourning into dancing. If only you will turn your faith to Him and let Him turn your bitter into better. So, my lovely people, I hope God spoke to you today. If He did, feel free to share your comments. If you still haven't subscribed to my channel, I would request you to subscribe to my channel. Also, hit the like button if you like the video, and also share it among your friends. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.